Doctrine. In our zeal to defend the truth, we often forget that doctrine is not a weapon of dispute or battle, but a lamp to illuminate our own path. When we prioritize winning an argument over understanding Christian doctrinal matters, we stand the risk of becoming like the scribes and Pharisees, who knew the scriptures but missed the spirit. Indeed, doctrinal arguments can be precarious, leading even the most well-intentioned individual down a path of mental foolishness. This is because the moment a man thinks he has attained the highest height of knowledge and grasped the entirety of God's truth, he becomes puffed up and eventually finds himself entangled in a web of controversy, debating with anyone who dares to challenge his perspectives, forgetting that our understanding is filtered through the prisms of our individual experiences, perspectives, and revelations. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 9 echoes through the corridors of time. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. We must acknowledge that our grasp of God's truth is incomplete, just like a puzzle with missing pieces. This mindset is crucial as we navigate the complex landscape of doctrine, lest we fall prey to the snare of intellectual arrogance and high-sounding nonsense that cause harm to others and damages our own relationship with man and God. How come we forget so easily that the same Jesus who healed the blind Bartimaeus with just an utterance, Mark chapter 10 verse 52, also healed another blind man by making clay on his eye, after which he sent him to go wash his eyes in a river called Shiloah to perfect his healing, John chapter 9 verse 6 to 7. How quick are we to forget that the same God who instructed Moses to stretch a rod to part the Red Sea also told Joshua to command the Levites to carry the ark and step into the river Jordan to see it split, Joshua chapter 3 verse 15 to 17. This same God then parted the same river Jordan through Elijah and Elisha with just a mantle, the 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 8 to 14, without the ark, the rod, and the Levites. This is the same God doing the same thing in different ways, through different people and in different seasons. What an awesome God. One poignant reminder of the dangers of making dogmatic conclusions about biblical truths and doctrine is the story Kenneth Hagin once shared about a Sunday school teacher who went around town condemning and debating the concept of speaking in tongues. He emphatically explained to anyone that cared to listen that it was a demonic manifestation that should be repudiated by all means. Little did he know that he was actually attacking the very truths he claimed to stand for. Beloved, the body of Christ is a diverse, multifaceted entity comprising individuals with unique experiences, perspectives, and revelations. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 4 to 7. Once a man starts to argue doctrinal matters and does not know when and where to stop, he would not know when he will foolishly begin to remove the weeds along with the weeds. In fact, he may even go as far as ignorantly creating a good ground for the weeds to germinate while uprooting the weeds tirelessly through his arguments. What a needless adventure. Let's be careful not to fall into the trap of thinking we've got all the answers. Let's approach doctrine with humility, recognizing that we all see in parts and prophesy in parts. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 9. Let's prioritize love and unity over winning arguments or proving our points. It's high time we focus on building up each other rather than tearing each other down in bids to sound doctrinally accurate. It's time to celebrate our differences, even as we seek to understand and learn from one another. In the end, it's not about winning arguments or proving points. It's about loving God, loving others, and seeking to understand His truths in all its complexity and beauty. Remember, knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 1. Finally, brethren, let us heed the warning in Proverbs chapter 18 verse 2. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. We humbly recognize that our understanding is incomplete and that the body of Christ is strengthened by our diversity and not weakened by our differences. The Lord give you understanding. God bless you. Jesus is Lord.
This is Olusegun Ladegbuwa, stretching beyond the temple to reach the lost.